Okay, so we're done with WrestleMania 2020, day two, or part two, depending on how I look at it. We'll go with just the main show on this one. So Ripley versus Flair. Wow, these two just really wailed on each other, and I actually really liked that. And it showed a lot that when you've got no ambient sound, I mean, you heard everything. And these two just beat on each other. I like how the story was, Flair's going to work the leg, because that's what Flairs do, they work the leg. Ripley trying her best to just keep in on this. And, she hung very well with Charlotte. And the advantage Charlotte has is Charlotte has what the E really likes in their performers. You've got your regular match style, and then when it's time for a big match, like you crank it up and throw out some additional moves. This was I see moves like the big moonsault, more of the dives, more of the sheer athleticism that Charlotte has. And this one, I think people were split on. It's like, well, do you think Ripley's going to win and then fully just solidify her spot, or is it not her time yet? And is it time to give Charlotte a 11 or 12th championship reign? So, of course, it ends up being Charlotte. Hard fought match, good match, solid opener. I was like, you know what? So far, this has been the best women's match of the weekend. Then we go into Lashley versus Black. No real build-up, no real heat, but I dig Aleister Black. He did a good job in this. Got a black mass. After Lana was like, no, 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 don't finish with that. Beat him with this move, which led to his demise. So if that leads to Lana and Lashley breaking up and Lashley going on to do something of note during his time in this return, I'm cool with that. Black gets a victory there. Otis versus Dolph. Again, Dolph really good at his job. Did a great job being the douchey heel you want to get the crap get out of him. I like that Mandy came down towards the end, was able to hit the low blow on Dolph. Otis got the victory, and then got to carry Mandy off into the sunset. You know, this match would have worked actually fairly well at Mania. Whether the pre-show to pop the crowd, or as one of those, we just saw somebody, we just saw a heel become triumphant. You do this match afterwards as like the palate cleanser. So had they not done the 2 day thing in the closed set, this actually could have been the, all right, so Charlotte beat Rhea Ripley. We'll do this match next as a palate cleanser. Be like, if the crowd is pissed, they dig Otis. Otis will get a victory, and then the crowd will be happier again. Edge versus Orton. I'll make it back to this one. The Fatal Five Way. Order of elimination was Tamina, Naomi, Sasha. So after Tamina was eliminated, it pretty much became almost like a tag match, because Sasha and Bailey worked together to defeat the remaining faces. So miscommunication led to a woman's right felling Sasha, and then it was a fairly decent sequence with Lacey Evans taking on Bailey, which was okay. Sasha made her way down at the end, hit a backstabber, which allowed Bailey to get the victory. They did some great camera work here, where Bailey has the title on and Sasha kind of glances down at it, and then as Bailey's in the ring saying that she's untouchable and no one can get near her. I was waiting for her to say that she's untouchable, but she's forcing you to feel her. And then in the background, there's just Sasha kind of staring at her, and then as the lights shine bright on Bailey, you see just Sasha in the shadows. I went, there's some good little stuff here and there. I was hoping for a bigger bit with those two coming to blows a little bit, but I think without them knowing if they can really do anything or any sort of filming beyond small stuff here and there, they might be trying to hold off on it until they get a live crowd where they know they will get the pop that they want. So Bailey retained. Our main event actually was Drew and Brock. This was almost a carbon copy of the match that we saw between Goldberg and Strowman, where it was just finisher spam, which it was fine. That actually would have worked as the finish for night two, would have been Drew getting the big victory and, crowd going home ecstatic. But I will say, if you haven't watched this, watch Drew McIntyre's Chronicle, then watch this. Put you in a really great frame of mind for it. But Drew's your new champion. I'm fine with that. That's cool. So I did skip 2 matches: Firefly Funhouse and the Last Man Standing match. I'll go with Last Man Standing match. Wow. This was like 30 minutes of two guys entirely seeming like they were trying to kill each other. And incredibly, incredibly brutal. I liked the innovation. What helped with this match is normally when they do these sort of matches, it's like, oh, well, you ask, well, why is this there? Why is that there? Since they're fighting in the back in the storage area, it would make sense that there would be random ladders around. There'd be garbage cans around. The scene where they fought in the conference room and Edge decided to climb on the chain link that they have near the lighting fixture and then drop down for an elbow was just brilliant. There's some fantastic usage of just pieces in the environment, and it all makes sense. Some of the camera work they did towards the end of this was probably some of the most emotional stuff that I've seen in a wrestling match since, like, Shawn Michaels looked at Ric Flair and said, I love you and I'm sorry, and then super kicked his career away. I mean, this was brilliant. And I really feel sorry for a Ciampa Gargano because, in a week or so, they're going to have to try to match that level of brutality. And I don't know if they'll be able to elicit that level of emotion and that level of brutality. I mean, Orton got busted open. Orton got colored twice the hard way. And it was, Edge would take a big neck bump. You see him, like moving his hand and like, trying to shake his legs and giving that look. And it's like, oh, is Edge handicap again? And it was as Jake Singh Robinson, it was the masturbation of emotion. It was a beautifully done sequence. Oh, wow, that match is going to be one of those. If you do if you end up doing an empty arena match or a last man standing match, I think people should be like, here's the match to watch. Here's the emotion you should build into this, and here's how much you can get the crowd really super invested in this sort of thing. And now I have to go with what I would probably say this is my favorite match of the night was the Firefly Funhouse match. So John Cena comes down to the ring, and then they do the weird video montage of all the WrestleMania things. Cut to Bray Wyatt, talking about the Firefly Funhouse. Cena is teleported there. And then Bray almost does like a Cena, this is your life psychological montage, bringing in aspects of the prototype, the filled relationship with Nikki Bella, other variations of John Cena. I especially really, really like the fact that there was an aspect of it that somebody brought in a heel turn and using the SmackDown fist, which means the fist is still in storage. And I was like, man, if they ever do a physical Hall of Fame or say physical walkthrough stuff, the fact that they still have the giant SmackDown fist is amazing. Actual match itself, it wasn't really a match. I mean, it was, John Cena brought up Husky Harris. This was pretty much here is a retrospective on John Cena's career, bits and pieces of Bray Wyatt's retrospective thrown into there. And then the ending sequence of him actually battling the Fiend. And weird they didn't use the red lighting effect. Because up to this point in time, red lighting effect has been used for people who are scared of the Fiend. That's why when he took on Roman and then he took on a Goldberg was like, I'm not scared of you. It was a white lighting effect. At least I'm thinking that's how they differentiate between the two. But, the Fiend went over. Now I'm just hoping that based on everything else, that the next time we see a Firefly Funhouse, John Cena is a puppet. If he's not, man, did they really, really miss an amazing opportunity to keep John Cena going, but as a puppet trapped in the Firefly Funhouse. So all in all, two nights of Mania, I thought it worked really well. Instead of it being one, 7 hour slog to get through, two 3.5 hour shows actually worked pretty well. Could I see them doing this for another one? Maybe. But I think they space things out well enough to get it to work. I still think that since they had to fill card, you do get some filler matches. Some of them were okay. Other ones, you could tell without the ability to do battle royals to get everyone on the card, they did these moments to kind of go, well, you can still get a Mania check. It's not as big because it's not the massive gate and all that. But at least you get to do something. You get a match. Then if we sell DVDs, you get some money from it. It's something, but we can't do a battle royal. So, oh, and I forgot, Street Profits retained in case you thought they would lose to a randomly thrown together tag team at the last moment.